Hi and welcome back to This Bytes for You. You may already know that I've reviewed quite a few gaming chairs in my time, and in that time I found my two favorites. I'm always trying to find that one that's going to be better than either number one or number two. I'll go over those two chairs a little bit later on in this video. In that search, we're going to be doing an unboxing, a build, and a review of the Anda Seat Kaiser 3 XL, the 2022 edition, and we're going to be seeing every single feature and benefit this chair has. It actually has quite a few features I haven't seen in any other gaming chair, and I don't mean like RGB lights and all that stuff. I mean comfort features, things that make you want to sit down and feel comfortable. But let's stop that. Let's get to the unboxing so that we can get to the build and we can get to the review. All right, so just a quickie on the box. Anda Seat gaming chair. We can see spacious and supportive, magnetic armrest, one of the features, premium PVC leather, adjustable height, 100% steel framework, easy assembly system enabled. All right, and then Kaiser 3 XL black. It is BIFMA certified and designed by Anda Seat. On the side, the best for the best, nothing major there. On the back, this looks all too familiar. And on the other side, nothing really different. And starting off on the top of the box, your unboxing experience starts here. DuraXtra was the only gaming chair that I've ever been impressed with the unboxing. So let's see if this holds a candle to that. All right, so top foam, normal. Ooh, okay. So the DuraXtra had a little poster here that was actually the assembly poster, and I thought that was pretty awesome. But this has a little binder, and we'll go over this in one sec. All right, so this is the back of the chair, and we'll go over this in more detail once we get a little bit more into the chair. And another piece of, okay, so foam and cardboard, and another little binder on the other side. There was one over here, now there's one over there. Putting this aside for right now as well. More foam. All right, so this is the Okay, so this is the 5-star base, and it comes wrapped up in a little baggie, but then also in bubble wrap, and then it's hard to pull it out all separately, but then also kind of a little foam, I don't know what to call these, little foam straws if anything, so we can just pull them out. Now I'm used to the bases feeling a lot heavier. This one is incredibly light. Now, it's not to say the quality isn't there. It's nice looking, and it sounds just like all the others. It's just, this feels a lot lighter. Maybe not a bad thing, but we'll find out soon enough. 5-star base. Down here is where you're going to drop the wheels into, and then here is where you're going to drop the piston. And another piece of foam. All right, so then they have their a little best of the rest Anda Seat accessories box. This is nice. Aside from those two portfolios, they also have an accessory box. Nice touch so far. Doing great, Anda Seat. And here they have, in this nice piece of foam, lots of foam, they have the tilt mechanism. It's nice, but it's familiar. Most chairs have this, if not all of the chairs have it. One of these is going to let you tilt, while the other is going to let you rock the chair front. And then this is going to let you make that rocking and that tilt a little bit tighter or looser. We'll get back to this a little bit later. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Okay. And then they have the headrest in another sealed baggie. So I am liking all these sealed components. Maybe they're stored in the warehouse all in separate locations and then brought one by one to the box, but a little bit of quality, I think, to have it like this. This is the headrest. This is magnetic. So this part is going to go on the back of the backrest, and then there's no strap, there's no nothing. You can raise and lower it and it'll be stuck to the chair. This is one of those other cool features I was talking about. There's quite a few. Then over here, the zipper, and you can see that foam. Ooh, and it also has that gel cooling insert so that when you rest your neck on it, it's all nice and cool. I don't want to rip that foam, but already that's awesome. The magnetic and the gel cooling, this is awesome. Now the rest is the seat and the armrest and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the box and show it to you outside of the box. So one sec. And so now out of the box, just getting rid of all this other wrapping. And then we have the seat itself. Well, actually, let's see. Well, we can't do anything with this just yet because it is an accessory. Hopefully they sent it. And it comes with this little wrapper on here that says Kaiser 3 Series L or XL size gaming chair. Please do not remove this strap until, well, whoops. But that's okay. And like when you buy anything fancy, it does come with a little tag that has an insert, a card, and a seat, and then, well, that's it, I think. That's kind of silly. Well, it's Anda Seat on both sides. And of course you can rip this out, or you can leave it there, but it's tight on there. Anyway, this is a PVC leather material, and feels nice. Feels like nothing special right now, but we just took it out of the box. Now this comes in two flavors, in DuraXtra and EverSoft. This is the DuraXtra. It's a leatherette, a bonded PVC leather, so it's extra soft and comfortable, and also scratch and stain resistant, so that is a definite plus. But again, we haven't sat on it just yet. And bottom just kind of looks like a regular, any other gaming chair, so that's not a bad thing. The accents are silver here, and it shows designed by Anda Seat right over here. And then over here for the 4D armrest controls, they're also silver. And then over here we have for the seat. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down so that I can show you the backrest real quick. And the backrest, this is a very tall backrest, and like the headrest, it comes in a sealed piece of plastic. Wow, it really does lock the aroma in, and mind you, this is not leather, it's leatherette, so no animals are harmed in the making of this product, but it smells good. It's just a different smell because it's been sealed for who knows how long. So the backrest, also that same leatherette material, and then we can see here embroidered Kaiser. Looks real nice. It's kind of a silver kind of embroidery. Then along the top up here, Anda Seat on the headrest. And then it comes with these two little pieces here, where on most other chairs it would be for straps, but there are no straps on this chair, so I kind of like that so far. Then the Anda Seat kind of Superman logo over here. Then over here again the Anda Seat embroidery along the top. Then we can see Kaiser down here along the wings where your back would sit here, embroidered as well. It looks real nice. And this is textured as well, so it's not as smooth as this, but both do feel nice. And then we can see also the stitching embroidery along all of the accents of the chair. And then you also notice right over here, there is a knob, and there's a knob right on the other side as well. This is another one of those cool features I was talking about, that there is a little lumbar thing right over here that with one of the knobs you can raise it and lower it, but with the other knob, you can have it come out or have it dive deep back in. So just to aid a little bit in your back comfort. And I haven't sat in it yet, but I'm really excited to test that part as well. One of the cool things also here that I've only seen in the DX Racer is they have this little mount over here. This is where you would slide that side piece on the seat portion right into here to join the back with the seat. Makes it so much easier for attaching this to the seat. This is amazing. Then down here, we have a little Anda Seat, feels maybe rubber or leatherette as well, a little patch. And then just like the DX Racer, the other side doesn't have the railing, so it's going to rely on the other side, and then you can just screw this part in. So now we've gone over the base of the chair and the back of the chair. Let's see what's inside those accessory boxes real quick. And well, just Kaiser 3 Series accessory box, L and XL. Same thing along all the sides, black along the bottom and the top, Anda Seat best for the best. Okay, box accessories. Here are the armrests, the 5 casters, the screws. This is a little cap to block an orange peg, which I'll show you in a little bit. This is the piston. This is the piston cover. And then the little paddles for the tilt and rocking mechanisms along the side. Oh, this is nice. All right, so usually they give you a cheap little pamphlet that you just open up, piece of paper, black and white. The DX Racer gave you a nice poster, actually a very nice quality poster. This gives you a very nice quality printed user manual that looks, yeah, that is in full color. So this cost them a pretty penny, and it goes in great detail, which you don't have to worry about this too much because I'm going to show you in this video how to put it together. But it is nice to have. Then over here, we have, oh, these are not the armrests. So these are the sides. So where you put in the back of the chair to the base, this is to cover that so you don't see those pieces of metal. Here are the 5 casters. Below that, additional screws, the cap, the Allen wrench, which the DX Racer had a much nicer Allen wrench, but this is a bigger one than usual, so that's nice as well. The piston right over here, then the little paddles, and then the piston cover. I'll leave that there. So, very nice presentation still all the way around. Now let's see the other 2 accessory boxes. Box number 1. So PU foam armrest. This is nice just for an armrest. Okay, so this is a single armrest. So, and this is their mag swap technology that even this smells real good. So this goes on that armrest piece I showed you that is the 4D armrest. And so it's magnetic, so you can take it off, put it on, and there are several accessories which I'll talk a little bit later on. And then let's see what the other one is. Now I'm sure it's just the other armrest. Number 2. Yes, the second armrest. And these smell really, really good. So it's not just hard plastic, though it is kind of hard. It is kind of a foamy material. So, you know, it feels pretty good too. So anyway, it looks like we're at the point that we start building the chair. So let's get started. So the first piece to assemble it is to put the casters right here in the little hole on the 5-star base. So we'll just grab the caster. Now, like this looks just like the DX Racer caster that we can just slide it in. Yes, and these 2 chairs have been the easiest to slide the caster in. So I'm just going to go through this fast forward, and I'm going to skip it because you already know how it's going to go. All right, now that we have that on there, it really took no time whatsoever. Just going to drop the piston right in there, and then we're going to put the little protective cover done there. All right, now we have the base on the table. We're going to be putting the back of the chair right on here, but we need to remove the screws on the chair first. They put them on right here, and it's a good thing because that way they don't get lost. And usually I try not to use the Allen wrenches, or at least not too long, but this is a bigger one, so it rolls a little bit nicer. The DX Racer one was so much nicer, but this is still nice. All right, now with that out of the way, we can grab the chair and just slide it right into here. And now we're going to go ahead and screw those screws back in. Maybe not 100%, but enough so that they have a little hole in there. And we don't want to do it 100% yet because it'll make the other side that much more difficult to install. Alright, and now we'll bring the chair around. And we don't need to hold it so much because we have it on that rail system. Now just slide this forward, and now we may need to adjust it a little bit, raise and lower it, but still, we don't need to have 35 hands to do it. We can just have 2. And now that we have all 4 inserted, now we can screw them in all 4 tightly. Now we can put these side pieces on. They should just slide right on. That's it. No force. It just went on. So magnetic. There we go. Perfect. And now we can turn her around. And now we can remove this red little guy here, and that allows you to use the reclining feature. All right. And then this is where that little piece of plastic that came inside of the accessory box fits in. And then you could see it has little grooves on it as well, and they're going to match the grooves here, so we can just match it up. And then it looks like that was an entire piece to it, all on its own. It was never separate. I don't know what you're talking about. Now we're going to go ahead and lay the chair face down. Now on the bottom of the chair, this is where we're going to need the rest of those screws that came inside of that accessory box. Then also where we're going to be putting the tilting mechanism. Now the front of the chair is going to be down here. So we're going to be having this front facing the front. And we're going to grab one of those screws. Just put it down here, and we're gonna screw it down just a little bit as a pilot screw. And then we're gonna be doing the same with all the rest, and we're not gonna screw them down tight just yet. Okay, and now like we do with all screws, we're going to tighten them in a diagonal pattern. So one over here, one over here, one over here, and one over here. Now that we have all 4 screwed in, kind of all 4, it'll still work the way we need it to. Now that we have them all screwed in, now we're going to go ahead and just tighten that. And now we're going to go ahead and right over here, we're going to insert the 5-star base, the piston. Just slide it right in there. To insert the paddles right over here along the side of the tilt mechanism. So what we're going to do, if you'll notice, there's 2 little pieces of plastic right over here. And there's 2 little grooves right over here. We're just going to go ahead and align them. We're going to stick the paddle forward. and that just easily slides in. As long as you fall within that groove, you may have to twist and turn to have it fall in that groove that easy. And then on the other side, we have the other one, and we can either have it the other way or face it both the same way. I'll do it both the same way. And then just find that groove again. Same indentation. Then this one is going to go down and up. That's going to lock the seat from being able to tilt backwards when you're sitting in it. And then this one is going to raise and lower the seat. So that just raises it to its maximum. Now, at its maximum, the chair goes up to 16 inches. And at its lowest, it's about 13.5 inches. So the wheels, nothing out of the ordinary really. They're regular wheels, but they do glide pretty nice on a wood floor. I haven't tested it on very thin carpeting because unfortunately I don't have very thin carpeting, but as you can see, it rolls and rolls pretty nicely. The headrest, as I mentioned, is magnetic. Okay, maybe I just did it too hard. Okay, so it stays on there. You're able to make it go up, bring it down. Maybe that's just the bottom portion of the magnet. Okay, yeah, well, it's a little area that you can make it go up and down, but just like with any chair that you have it strapped on, there's only so much wiggle room, so that's about right. Now the armrest, they have a little button right over here, and that's going to coincide with this one. So this is for the left armrest, and then this is for the right. Then it has the AndaSeat logo up at the front, and then that piece right over here, it doesn't stick out now that that base is there. And then I'll just go ahead and put that there as well. This button will allow the armrest to go forward and back. It will also allow the armrest to turn inward and outward. Then along the side here, this lever here will allow the armrest to go up or down. So as we went over before, there are two knobs. The right is to raise and lower the lumbar support in the chair, and the left is to have the lumbar stick out a little bit or dive back in a little bit. Now this is a little bit harder to see. So for example, with turning this one towards the front, dives it in, and then rolling it backwards pushes it out, adding additional lumbar support. Now that's right around here. Now on the right side, this is the one that has the lumbar support going up and down. So if I hold my hand right here and turn it this way, I can feel it going up. And if I do it clockwise, I can feel it coming down. These are very hard to see because it's all right in here, and of course it has to do with the pressure. That's part of it. Unfortunately, there's not much more I can show you on that. So typically at this portion of the video, I sit in it for the first time and I tell you guys my experience with the chair. But this is day 2 of my recording process on this, and I've already sat on it quite a few times for a few hours. The very first time you sit on this chair, you will feel like you're sitting on concrete. It's horrible. At first, don't leave. At first, it's horrible, but I don't know if the foam expands over time, but it's so much better. Still not as comfortable as my number 1, which is the Main Gear Forma R, and my number 2, which is the Cougar Argus. But still, it is much more comfortable than before. This might take number 3 in my comfortability scale, if that's a word, comfortability. Anyway, so I do like the chair. It is comfortable. The lumbar support that came with the Forma R was way too much, and it was very uncomfortable and not adjustable at all. What comes with the Cougar Argus was great, but not really adjustable. This chair, it's not a big thing. It won't obstruct you, but at the same time, it's not a huge difference whether you have it up or down. Well, maybe the up or down does help a little bit, but the out or in, it doesn't really affect much. And as you see, you don't really see it, so it's not going to affect you as much. With the 4D armrest, like most 4D armrests, you would use this button here to go forward and back, and that's pretty normal. You would also use this button to go invert and extravert, or whatever you call that one. Then on the side, you would use this little switch to go up and down, up and down, you know, and that's normal, nice. The cushiony portion, the pad, the magnetic pad you put in afterwards feels good. The area of the armrest feels nice as well. I do like it. Again, since it is magnetic, you can easily take it off and easily put it back on. Now the part that unfortunately didn't come with this chair, and I asked her, don't forget to send it to me so I could review it, but she didn't, is they offer a tray as well so that you can, you know, maybe watch a movie, have some popcorn, or maybe put your keyboard and mouse, or put a drink. Several different things you can use that tray for. It's pretty nice, but again, unfortunately, they did not include it with mine. It is an optional accessory, by the way, so no matter where you buy this chair, it won't come with it unless you buy it separately. I do like the way that everything inside of the box was compartmentalized. That's a hard word to say. It aided to just the unboxing experience, and it kind of makes you feel like they're taking a little bit more care of the parts before it gets to you, and I do like that and I respect that. So now the seat functionality. If you remember, on the left we have where you can rock, and it's a little locking mechanism, and it actually rocks very nicely. Again, you can tighten or loosen it. And then as you saw before, when I was measuring it, the chair will go up and down based off of the piston. And then the part that always scares me, and I left it for you because so you can laugh at me if I fall, goes 165 degrees. Okay, and it's nice and sturdy, feels good. I like it. I don't feel unsafe. And so you can see this way, I have my feet up and it feels good. When it was, wow, okay. So that's new, I haven't seen that before. With any chair, when you lift that handle, it'll slap you in the back, but with this chair, okay, so I'll lift that. Maybe I have to. Okay, so it looks like I needed to help push it up a little bit, which is weird, but it's sometimes better than it slapping you in the back of the head or your back. So coming around the side over here, we can just lift it all the way up. And I already gave you the measurements of it. If you don't remember, I'll put it on the screen now. And then sit on it and you go back down. Now, the other part why I'm keeping you down here is that this is comfortable as well. Since it is the XL, the fins aren't as high, so you don't kind of feel trapped or nestled in your seat. I like to sit with my legs crossed. So this is actually the first time I did it in this chair, and because the fins are down, it feels great. I like it a lot. So the Anda Seat Kaiser 3 XL is a very comfortable chair. It can hold up to 463 pounds. Thankfully, I'm nowhere near that, but if you are, it can hold you just fine. And it can hold up to 6.89 feet tall. That's tall. I'm 5'6". As you can see, it works fine for me. The neck rest is a bit awkward. It is magnetic, but it feels very nice. It falls right into place, and I can't complain about it at all. It is very nice and cool, and it doesn't have all the cables and all the straps in the way. If I want to take it off, I take it off, and it does have a nice weight to it as well. But if I want to put it back on, that's it. Just put it back on and maybe situate it the way you want it to go, and you're good again. So that's nice. Now, if you like the DuraXtra that I'm using this particular chair, it comes in 7 colors. If you prefer fabric or material, that only comes in 2 colors. Now, between the 2 chairs, the colors are elegant black, carbon black, ash gray, I like that one, classic maroon, cloudy white, I like that one too, creamy pink, that one's not bad, robin egg blue, blaze orange, that one's kind of cool, and Bentley brown. So this is Iggy with This Bites For You, again doing an unboxing, a build, and a review of the Anda Seat Kaiser 3 XL gaming chair. It is an awesome chair, just with a few little things that maybe I would have changed. But anyway, Iggy with This Bites For You up. See you guys.